If you've never played a Resident Evil game before, particularly the older ones, then there is a chance at some point in the Resident Evil 2 remake that you'll have no idea what to do. The game has no objective markers or waypoints, and it's often up to you to work out how to progress. Now, whilst I can't guide you through every part of the game, I can give you 15 extremely useful tips that should help series veterans and newcomers alike. I'll do my absolute best to avoid spoilers, so I'll only be showing gameplay from the police station, unlike a certain review site which seem determined to have late game areas in their reviews. IGN. Anyway, let's get started. The map in Resident Evil 2 is vital to your progression. Not only is it used for working out where you are or where you need to be, but it can also tell you where you have and haven't looted. When you open the map, if a room is in blue, that means you have completely cleared that room out. That means no story items, no ammo or healing items remain. If the room is red, that means you still have stuff left to find. Sometimes it will even tell you what you have left in there. Now I think this is done by sight, so if your character sees the item but you don't pick it up, it will be marked on your map. I can't tell you the amount of times I've needed a green herb, checked my map and found one handily highlighted on the map. Be sure to check your map often if you want to make it out alive. So this is something that I was guilty of even though I've played the older games in the series. When the game first started, I felt like I had loads of ammo. So much so that I stopped being careful with it and shot any zombie that crossed my path. This was a bad idea. At some points you will have lots of ammo, and chances are you will want to use it, but I highly recommend that you don't. If you can run past a zombie without firing a shot, do it. Towards the second half of the game, ammo becomes much harder to come by, and trust me, you are definitely going to need it. Do you ever wonder why the tyrant shows up at the most inconvenient times? You know what I mean, you're trying to take down a zombie in a cramped hallway and you hear his ominous footsteps. It's because he's attracted to gunfire. This sort of ties into my previous point, but the Tyrant, or Mr. X as he is also known, will hear gunfire and start to hunt you down. So try to hold off shooting unless you want a meeting with Mr. X. Another point that I'm guilty of, even though I've played the older games, you have to inspect everything you pick up, and I mean everything. Obviously items like ammo and herbs don't need to be inspected every single time you pick it up, but a lot of other items you pick up throughout the game will reveal something if you examine it. Whether it be a code to a safe or an attachment for a weapon, make it a habit to examine absolutely everything you pick up. Yep, contrary to popular belief, headshotting a zombie in Resident Evil 2 does the same damage as a body shot. It may be hard to believe, but it is true. But that doesn't mean you should always go for the body though. When shooting the head, you have a chance to hit a critical shot. These critical shots are based purely on chance, so you may kill a zombie in one headshot, reload a save, and that same zombie may take 3 or 4 headshots to put down. It's up to you how you use this tip. Do you always go for the head in hopes of a critical hit, or aim centre mass and make sure not to waste any bullets? The choice is yours. Herbs are the most common healing item found in Resident Evil 2. Sure, you can find the odd first aid spray here and there, but more often than not you'll be relying on herbs to get by. Now I would strongly advise against using a single herb to heal yourself unless you absolutely have to. Instead, you should always combine them to enhance their effects or gain bonuses. This screenshot was taken from pushsquare.com and shows all the possible combination of herbs and what bonus effects they have. Make sure you save this picture somewhere, it could save your life. Okay, so let me give you a scenario. You've cleared a room full of zombies and you make your way to the next room. Oops, you forgot to pick something up in the previous room, so you head back and you're ambushed by a zombie you thought you had killed. Has that happened to you before? Well, it happened to me a lot. Unlike the older games in this series, a pool of blood no longer forms under a zombie when they are dead. The best way to check if a zombie is actually dead or just taking a nap is to take a quick slash at them with your knife. No movement? Good, the zombie is dead. Movement? Time to ready your weapon. A quick tip here, and one that I didn't see explained anywhere in the game, that's not to say it's not, I may not have been paying attention, and that is the quick turn. If you press back and B on the Xbox or back and circle on the PS4, your character will do a quick 180. Ideal for making a quick getaway, which leads me on to my next point. Always run from Mr. X. If you stand there and fight him, all you are doing is wasting ammo and probably healing items once he gets his hands on you. Luckily, he's pretty easy to avoid if you just bait an attack and sprint past him, though I do permit the use of one bullet to knock his fedora off. Oh, and if you really want to know what happens if you fight Mr. X, take a look.
Better get moving.
This one's pretty obvious, but it's worth mentioning. Take your time to explore everywhere. In most rooms you can find something that will aid you on your quest, be it ammo, healing items, or even story related items. Don't rush through this game. Take your time, soak up the atmosphere, and more importantly, any ammo. When I first saw the wooden boards, I boarded up a couple of windows but never used them again, and that was dumb. If you leave a window unboarded, zombies will continue to climb through it. In a game where you have to backtrack a lot, knowing that an area is clear is really important, so make sure you board up as many windows as you can. It can be annoying if you need the inventory space, but as long as you board up a window when you see it, the boards themselves shouldn't be sitting in your inventory for long.
Fuck off!
Another pretty obvious one, but make sure you put any items that you don't plan on using in a chest. There are actually quite a few chests in Resident Evil 2, so it's rare that you'll have to go far to find one in case you do need something. And of course, all the chests are somehow magically linked, so an item you put in one chest will appear in every chest throughout the game. Oh, and one more quick tip. If an item has a red tick on it, that means that item has served its purpose and can be discarded. Don't worry about discarding story related items, the game won't let you do it. Sub-weapons are lifesavers, literally. If you're grabbed by anything, yes, even the Tyrant, a quick tap of LB on the Xbox and L1 on the PS4 will get you out of the encounter damage free. The sub-weapons are the knife, the flashbang and the hand grenade. It doesn't really matter which you prefer, just make sure you have one of these in your inventory at all times. Now, as tempting as it may be to back up while shooting, try not to. The aiming reticule in Resident Evil 2 behaves in a pretty strange way. When you first draw your weapon, the reticule will be large, but the longer you hold the weapon up, the smaller it gets. Moving also causes the reticule size to increase, so if you're going for a critical headshot, plant your feet and take your time. So those are 15 tips that I feel will serve you well as you explore Raccoon City Police Department and beyond. With that being said, I'm by no means an expert, and chances are a lot of you guys have plenty of helpful tips or strategies that you use, so I'll share them in the comment section down below. I hope people aren't put off by the supposed difficulty in this game. If you take your time and avoid risks, things are a lot easier. In the coming days, I'm planning on recording loads of Resident Evil 2, including Easter eggs, examples of attention to detail, and loads of other things, so if you want more Resident Evil 2, then be sure to subscribe. Also, let's try something I haven't done for a while, and I mean like 3 years I haven't done this. If you made it to the end of the video, then comment Leon down below. Also, if you're a fan of Easter eggs, secrets and details in any game, not just Resident Evil 2, then perhaps consider subscribing, as that's what this channel is all about. Thank you all for watching, and I'll speak to you all soon.